Here we are, another fascinating video. DK-16. This is actually a 13. Very, very rebuildable. We're going to take it apart. It's got a bad bearing in it. And rebuild it. And of course, let's get started. We drill, I think I drill up to 3 or 4 inch holes with these. 3-speed drill. One of the things that I do when I talk about it, whether a piece of equipment's good or not, is how rebuildable it is. I don't know, I bet you I've rebuilt this thing 10 times. Very good piece of equipment. You can rebuild it over and over. Let's go with the bigger one. Try not to break everything. I just got it fixed. There's going to be oil in here. There's not. It's bad. I've already checked this drill out. Like I said, it's still running. It has a bad bearing. Probably the end bearing in the shaft. That means we're going to be doing press work and all kinds of cool stuff. Right. Alright. Gotta get rid of my oil bucket. Got it. This is an old sea ration container. Don't know where it came from, but that's definitely what it is. Let's see here. We're going to dump it out. Get these screws out of here. This is just a video of a repair in real time once again. Go ahead and take the top off. This will expose the brushes. Videos of that Northern Lights last night. I got a little bit of it, but it didn't really come out very well. So maybe next time. These get used quite a lot. So they break quite a lot, but they're actually really, really good tools. Just like anything, you can overrun it. There. Come off of there. Go ahead and get this oil draining. The only one here that's allowed to use a hammer on the hand tools. Oh yeah. So the needle bearing went out in the cap here, right here. See that? Broken. I got that in the part bin over here. We'll be able to rebuild this one and make it happen again. This piece is no good. Oh, probably went through all the gears and who knows what else is wrong in here. Yep, there's parts. Nothing's really supposed to fall out of here when you turn it upside down. Obviously, that's actually the first one of those I've seen that was broken, but they wear out in other ways. Huh. There's some more metal. Looks like you can probably take a picture of that. All that shiny metal in there. That's your Aurora Borealis. Yep, I'll wash that out in the solvent tank a little bit. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like and subscribe. You've watched my stuff. I also had it wrong on there. But comments. How am I going to improve if you don't comment? Got a tool for this. I'm going to get the intermediate gear out. This has the clutch in it. Yep, pinion shaft. That's what that was. Well, I don't have a tool out. So we're going to turn this over. There's going to be another clip in here. It's a little bit of a pain to get out. Gotta make these things up. Turn them all around. All right, that came right out. That's always good. Here. Go over here to our little arbor press. We'll press this dude out right here. Oh, you see this? That's an M109 lathe from about 1947. I went ahead and Gabrielized that. I'm going to make a cool video about this. I took the parts out of a treadmill. Yep, made that thing happen. I'll probably refurbish the commutator on the armature here with that. Well, be careful doing this. There's a little E clip, a C clip, I should say, not E. Doesn't matter what alphabetical letter it is, it's in here. We still got to take it out. Not bad. This is actually one of the harder things to do, to get that clip out of there. Got to use a pick, just like this. Get in here on this gear, grab a hold of it, flick it up out of there. Yep, this also requires pretty much multiple clips, or pairs of, there we go. Yep, my other one, hold that thing up. Yep, you just gotta work it slowly, out of the groove. It's also embedded into where the synchronizers are for this bottom gear. Snap ring pliers. There's a snap ring that holds where the 3 speeds are at. What's this drive gear on here? There they are. Got to use a slide hammer. This is what this looks like inside of here. Okay. This is where I just took the snap ring off of. Holds that gear down. The pinion shaft. Typically go right there. Oh, look, I can see the back. That's what I just knocked up out of there with that slide here. And what was this? The pinion shaft. It also has the clutches in it. And then this is the main drive shaft. It goes out to the, it's what you're actually attaching your drill bit to. And that's got the 3 speeds built into it. This side lever goes up and down, and it moves that gear there, the intermediate gear in between, and on each side of that you can see these little cogs sticking up. That's what catches when you hear somebody talking about my synchronizer's out in my transmission. That's what in the hell they're talking about right there. Anyway, you see it. That's a good picture. The battery, external battery wasn't on there. All right, let's see what we got here. This has been a while since I rebuilt it. I can just tell by the way that everything is generally worn, so that means the operator has been doing a decent job of not destroying things. Yep, that's what happens. I think I might even be able to reuse that seal. Yeah, it feels good. That is the gear case cover seal. That's what I'm talking about. The seal, the oil that was inside of here, it seals it from going out the other end of the shaft into where the water seals are. Let me go over here. I'll clean this out real fast. Pretty easy to do that. You gotta kind of take it, get off to the side of the one. Missing a piece. Probably didn't have any. It's not really an important part, but there is a piece that goes on between the case and the top of the seal, so that you're able to get a screwdriver onto it and knock it out without having to take the other parts out of the part. Yeah, it's missing. They do that or it's just shot. Oh, it's gone. No, it's worn out. This little ring right here, it's only in there so you can stick a screwdriver here and knock that seal back out. Yep, my case seal just looks fine. We're not going to replace that. I don't like using brake cleaner, but I don't feel like going outside. Clean. Set it to the side. Let's take this apart, the motor housing, see what's going on in here. If anything, probably not. Usually the only thing that goes bad on these is the armature. When that's done, you just get a new one. You can sort of rebuild them. Yeah, sticks on the O-ring in here. All right. This is actually in good condition. A lot of times on the commentator here, when these are burned, you see where the wires are, the windings are attached right here. That's some epoxy type adhesive. You'll see that chipped and broke, and I call them hot runs. but you'll see an absolute run coming off of here, down here, burned through, fried. When that's the case, you just have to get a new one. Brushes are okay. You got a little debris in there on the old field. We'll just rinse that out. It'll be fine. So this motor housing seems to be okay. So we're not going to do any crazy putting a new field in it today, because there's no sense in that until one of the main electrical components, whether it be the field or the armature, goes out. Otherwise, you're just throwing the money away that you would get out of this. What I'm talking about here is these older drills are, what are they, 12 or 13, 14 amp. The D-16, I think, is an 18 or 20 amp. Well, you can get the parts that go into these and make D-16s out of them. They have a soft start in them that modulates the frequency of the voltage to start the drill slower. Also reduces the amp draw going through whatever circuit breaker there is. So hopefully, once I do these, that's not an issue. Because even the other D-16s I've got, I've taken them out because they fail. So I think doing this to these will just make them a D-16 with no soft start. Just like the ones that we buy and I convert them. This is just a 6005 bearing, 6005 RS. It's got 2 seals. You have a new one. I'm just going to pop this on that press just like I did. It just goes on there. Don't even need to oil it or anything. It's going to go on. Gimbal. I have a gimbal, but I don't think it works for this camera. It might. I just haven't figured it out. That could be a good possibility. Right here. Put the clip back on. I'm going to go right back over that press in just a second. What I like to do is tell you that you need to push this thing in at the same time you put the bottom gear in. You'll be taking it right back apart. You always do lubricate these a little bit. That's just silverite. Yep, lubricate down in the seal. Oops, right into the oil bucket. Probably could have took that out. You always drop it in the oil bucket if you leave it lay. Every time. So there's a lip down inside of here that this can't go around. Once it's in there, like so. Look down inside there, there's a lip that thing's got to be inside, and you can't get it on. Right over here. Yeah, the gimbal on the way. Sorry, Heather and Fury, I had to do it. Oh, let's flip this around again. Yeah, get that down in there. Oh, there it went. Got scared. Beautiful. Beautiful. You can't hear that at all. All right. Now we load the gears. First, we're going to put on the EC clip, remember, the one that holds that bottom gear on that, earlier, probably forgot. Take that out. Doesn't matter how many times you take these apart, you pretty much look at the manual every single time. That's alright. That's what you do. I'm a fan of the manual. I like technical nonsense. I'm going to look at the manual right now, matter of fact. Houston, we have a problem. We're out of seals. Yep, it's got some seals. We're just going to lubricate it. Housing. Inside there. I flatten the washer back out. I'd say you can knock this thing out. Just put a little bit of lube on that. You can pretty much press these in by hand. All right, what I went and looked at. This is the gear change. Goes on in the gear select lever. If you don't have that in the right direction, it'll still sort of work, but you'll be taking it back apart. You'll be taking it back apart if you don't put the keyway in first too. Not a big deal, just this gear just comes out. Easiest with this piece. Look at that. Keyway, gotta have that. I keep looking at my phone, sorry. With the, I'll get used to that. Yeah, put that in there. That's in there. This is the gear select lever. See, it's rotating. You got to line that up first, or you won't never get it in. Then you go all the way down, and just hold it in place, nice and tight. That is, which is first gear position. Then you put on the other gear, the top gear, with the retainer. I love having it cold. I think it's the best thing in the world. You wake up sick. Nothing better. Alright, that clips on. Now we got, this is, I call it the Clipchamp. They got other names for it, this, that, and the other. That's the primary, it's like the secondary shaft, whatever you want to call it. The book says, for some reason, number 112. When you go to a catalog right here, you look, that is the pigeon shaft. I guess that's the technical term for that in the book. So we'll use it. Excuse me. I'm not just using a hammer. This is a brass hammer. Okay. Don't beat on any of this with hardened steel. Gently. That's all it takes. Then this just takes gear up, halfway up to the inside. You just fill it up to where the gear level is, or the gear shift lever comes through. There's a bolt holding that. That's all you fill it up to. So we'll leave that on there. All right, let's look at the motor end. Let me find this housing. The universe is working in our favor today. I thought I was out, but I found it. So, you do is dip your finger down in the oil there. Just get some oil in these bearings. Look at that. Right off of your finger. The nectar of life for bearings anyway. Alright. Put a little bit of lube on the O-ring, on the, that's what seals that gear case off, that O-ring. Obviously, that's what's up. Alright. We're missing the dowel pin. Where is that? It's missing from this piece also. Oh, we just figured out why this broke. It's missing a piece. Not uncommon. These have been built over and over. Could have been in there and maybe it just fell out, but oh, I have to find that now. Water cool. Saves the day again. I love these things. Cut it. Had a few of them. This Dremel tool itself, it's great. Alright, here. It's just going to work. Beautiful. Now, pinion shaft goes in. Somebody going out of the drill bit. unit. Is the hair tall? It is. Grind it down a little. Pair of pliers. Well, let's find out if this actually works. I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't honestly know why they wouldn't have done this themselves a long time ago. If this wasn't just a fantastic idea. Let's see what's in this handle. This is cool. That's just, this is the switch, capacitor, and then the thermal protector. Right here, everything goes through it. Those are all taken out of these when I got, I put them all back in and they stopped burning up. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so you pull that off to the side, you kind of leave that in there, right? Let's see here. Now look, that capacitor was broken off of there. Unfortunately, you would never know that until you take this thing apart. Wait a minute, that's just an extra wire. It's probably something from the last time it burned off and it just got left on there, but that's kind of, could potentially be a short circuit. Let's get rid of that. Let's see, that's in there decent still. Alright, we're going to just remove the ground. There's a ground on the capacitor. Some unknown reasons. I need to probably cut the wires actually going to the field. They're coming out into the switch. And we can do that easily. Oh, this has been repaired before. Yeah, like I said, these things are pretty old, so. Cut it there, right there. The handle's off. Set that off to the side. Remember I said we have to heat this up. How are we going to do that? Well, we're just going to use a heat gun. Because we don't really have to heat this up real hot. So let me get that kind of stuff ready. And then maybe a little push piece. And then we'll press it out. It's starting to take shape so you can see what we're doing exactly. Alright. So you see the ears here. That's what holds the brush plate on. Ooh, right there's my camera, sorry. Yeah, the ears. You see where they're at. So this clamshell, we'll call it, it's going to fit right inside of that groove. So does the other one. Now we're going to weld a piece at the top of this and then a flat plate on here with some type of a little nub. A nub that we can press on the press. Or I'll get a big heavy flat piece of steel even, that'll work. I got one right here. That's what I was talking about. I'm going to have to cut another little sliver off of each side. About a ½ inch. And just going to do that on this bandsaw. I guess you can watch me do that. I feel like crap, just so you know. I have kind of all week even. It's going around. I even got a flu shot. I don't have the flu, but I have a cold. It sucks. All right, so I'm just going to cut that little bit extra off each piece, give it more room. Get more room. I need to mark inside because I can't see the outside where I'm cutting at. So that was being marked here. Nice and easy. See? You don't see how I'm solving all that. Gotta put the lid back on the cap with a marker. When I was in 2nd grade, I cut the tip of my thumb off on a saw just like that. And it never has healed all the way, kinda. In the winter, it comes back open. All right. So, yeah, we just made a little gap in that, as you see there, and put a flat plate. The gap is in the ears up there that I just showed you. We're just going to MIG weld around here, and unfortunately I can't let you watch me do that just yet. I'm going to get that figured out though. I do a lot of welding. That was easy. It's not a big structural weld. It doesn't need to be. Being that those are C-shaped, they're going to lay on that flat piece of metal. Nice and strong anyways, so it'll be alright. Fits on there just right. I'm going to let that cool down. I'll go get set up over here. We'll press that field out of the housing. Well, if that didn't just work like a charm, how you like that, huh? Whip that right together. Remember I said we were going to use a heat gun? I was lying. Use the old MAP gas torch. We're going to heat this housing up a little bit. It doesn't have to be real hot, but it makes it nice and easy. Doesn't matter about the paint either. If it was new, I'd probably do it some other way, but it's not. Start putting some pressure to it. And just like that, it's going down. I'll go ahead and turn that off. Going down like it should. Look at that. Look at that. One of the finest tools that I've ever built. Boom. All right, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna go grab my other field. It's over there. This just goes in when it's new. You don't have to press it. How you like that? You gotta get it in straight. That's what you gotta do. Take it. Got some pliers right here. Give it a little shove. Yep, didn't I just say that? It goes right in. It does. Also comes right back out. You gotta get those ears lined up, or just not going all the way there. And you only rotate it a little tiny bit. Now. Come on. Oh, I got an idea. I'll put that in afterwards. Okay. Let's edit this. Piece of shit. Uh-oh. Using those foul language again. That's what it takes. See? That's lined up now. All right, push this down. And that is that. So this one's going to get a new gear case cover. I don't know. There's an insert inside of here that has the seal in it, right? So they did away with that because it's real stupid. What they did was just made the housing different where there's just the seal in there without that other housing or piece. So much better, easier, less parts. I'm going to go ahead and put new brushes on. That's just screwing them in. Pretty easy. These go, like I said, only about halfway, and then you change them. The spring tension becomes less and less as they wear. Beautiful. Get in there. Other side. We'll be, like I said, we'll be able to run this motor here just a minute without anything on it. Let's see if it works. It will. There's no reason why it wouldn't. So when it comes to the different amperages and horsepowers and RPMs and all that stuff, it's still 120 volts, 60 hertz. It's a matter of how it's wound. So all we're doing is adding a different type of winding and a different armature, or field and armature, that are just wound different to take more amps. We're going to find out just how good this works. Let's see, get that in the right direction. Oops. Popped it out. No problem. Put it back in. Come on. There you go. All right. Those go up. Great. Now we just put in the armature. I do have a brand new one, as the other one was burned up. Ah, oh, lovely. Oh, there is one part I just about forgot. It needs wiped off. This is a shield that goes on the fan, or in front of the fan. And all this does is protect the field windings from debris that this fan potentially would suck into the motor while it's running. I'm just going to clean it off here with a towel. Stick it back in. It just pops into a groove. Very easy. Sometimes they don't fit right, and you just have to trim a little bit of the edge. This one was already in, so we know it fits. And that just goes inside of here like that. Oh, yeah. The groove. Too far. There. There. Beautiful. All right, armature. Right down into there. Bam. Stick it back. Gently clamp this thing. Also, we can just put the bottom cover on real fast. And that'll keep it from, there's a wavy washer that goes in here. which is where... Gabe, what is a wavy washer? A wavy washer is a washer that's wavy. No, this is a compensation washer. Okay, you can see this is made out of spring steel. This compensates for expansion and contraction of the heat. Also, notice this is a worm gear on here, and those are elongated. When you hammer down on this trigger, this is going into the gear housing, right? So if this thing's shaped in like a screw, okay, you can just imagine when you hammer this thing in a clockwise direction, it's going to draw the armature towards wherever it's screwing, right? So that also acts as a shock absorber for the movement inside the motor when you're just jamming on it. Got to be there. Very important. All right, let's go ahead and put this covered piece on. For now, because we're going to run it. Little assembly lube there. This will keep that bearing or wavy washer in here while we're not, while it's not in there, to keep from falling out like it just did. Put a little more in there. Really won't go anywhere. Then we'll use the excess mount, lubricate the shaft before we put this in. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the dowel pin goes up. So that should be this direction here. I could probably put an alignment bolt into that just to help it. That way it'll be in there. There's one. There's two. That's plenty. We'll put this on the opposite side. All right, let me knock that down onto it with my... Hey, now I'm going to go ahead and I can tighten these up a little bit, and we'll have a, it'll be safe, and then it won't blow apart accidentally when we turn it on with nothing on it. There it is. Where is my socket? I got a nice pile of tools going on here. All right. I'm just tightening the back of these. See, I just put that in there and hold that down. Yeah, that thing's sticking up a hair. It needs knocked the rest of the way in. All right, now put the back cover on it, and then we can fire this thing up. Now, whether it's gonna, it would definitely work. Under all the conditions that I hope it to, I don't know. I'll find out. A little bit of assembly lube here. Let's just not even worry about it. It's got some in there still. It's all right. It's got a little on that. Nice. Go ahead and put a bolt in here and one on the other side. We'll see what happens. I'm not even gonna turn it off and try it first. We're just gonna see what it does. If it goes up in smoke, it goes up in smoke.
Man, maybe we need to buy another double blade.
Why?
Getting a lot of double blade drop.
Yeah, hey, all we gotta do is call him up. He seems to be wanting to work with people.
He lives right down the road, he said.
Yeah. Old Eric's out.
Another double demo.
Another double demo. Give them to everybody. Yeah, I wish all these motor pieces on these housings had dowel pins. It would just make it lining everything up easier without having to use the bolts. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, it spins free. We're gonna find out right here. Bam! Legitimate supreme leader of maintenance. This is important. I'm gonna come up here and show you. When you take this apart, all right, where the fan is pressed onto the armature here, you see there's a gap where my pick is here. You might not be able to see that, you might. You want that to be all the way against where it seats. Otherwise, the fan hits this bearing, causes heat and draw on the engine or the motor, and then actually it'll heat this fan up, break it, and send it flying into someone's eyeballs. But they should be wearing safety glasses, like I should be right now. Yeah, you know. See if I can. This one slid off a little bit. That's what we're doing here. Oh, look! I was just getting ready to hang it up. Bad spot in the cord. Can't have that on a job site. We'll go ahead and chop this off and put a new end on it real fast. Indicator letting you know that you have power. Eliminates that question. It happens. Camera's up there. You gotta remember. Yep, this isn't anything other than cutting the cord off. You don't need all this cord length on here because you're using an extension cord anyways. Why you want to drag all that extra cord with you? So we'll just cut that loose. We'll go ahead and just take this blade and sheave this cord back a little bit. Just like that, just enough to get it into the plug. This isn't anything any different than changing a cord end on your vacuum cleaner at home. It's amazing too. These wires are color coded. And I'm going to show you exactly how easy that is. Once I pop this piece off, it's going to be right inside of this. Receptacle. And there you go. What do we call that? Take it apart real quick. These have a little extra piece for a smaller cord. I take those out usually. I don't know, it'll fit in this one I think actually. We do these cord ends quite often on everything. Mainly 480, 3-phase, 400 hertz saws, lots of them. They go through them. That's just the way it is. Right there. Sometimes you come across these and they have relatively small wires in the cords. I don't like that. We're going to go ahead and let it go that way, but next time this comes in for a rebuild, so on the back, one of these is green, right? One of this is silver, and the other one is brass. There's a green wire, a white wire that is closely related to this color here. That shiny one goes to the white one. And then if you roll it around and you see the copper one, that's a little closer to this one. darker. Goes to that. Yeah. You'll probably live a happier life now knowing that. Yeah, if you can't figure that out right there, that little thing, I'm going to say that you should not in any way, shape, or form be messing with electricity. Just call somebody else. It's not worth it. I got shocked by 480 not too long ago. I didn't immediately die, so I knew I was okay, but I had to run around in a circle and wear it off. Currently, I'm wearing a heart monitor on account of that. I think I might have said that the other day. I'm fine, I would say. I haven't had any issues, but I don't recommend doing that at any level. Being electrocuted is bad. Yep, just going to go and tighten that up real quick. So we go through these cord ends. You know what, I hate to say it, I found that the cheaper ones aren't any better or worse than the more expensive ones half of the time. Plus these have a light in them. Makes them pretty. Bob Ross would be proud of me putting color into things. No, I think that's a pretty good idea there, because just like a lot of times they'll call in, the drill won't work. Well, do you have power? Nobody ever knows. Tell you what does know is that. Look at that, isn't that something? Beautiful. Like, subscribe.